Good afternoon. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I'm your host, Al Scott. As always, we do thank you all for tuning in to our broadcast. We hope and trust that you all are having a good day so far. Mine started out good. Of course, some things went wrong in the course of the morning, but uh, we made it. Nevertheless, we made it. Today, I want to speak on the issue in Memphis, Tennessee. Tyre Nichols. I wanted to wait until the family had his funeral. Why? I don't know. I guess it's kind of like you're looking for something, but you don't know what it is until you see it. If that makes any sense. This is part one of a three-part series. Today, tomorrow, and uh, Thursday. I think it's Tuesday. Um, and each day, I want to examine something different and try to bring a different perspective on what you all have been hearing. There's a lot of rumors out there which we don't pay any attention to because rumors are just that. People that don't know spread rumors. We deal with the facts. If I'm gonna say something that is my opinion, I'm gonna tell you it's my opinion, and I'm not trying to pass my opinion off as fact. This is a very, very serious case. So today, I want to focus on the police. Not just the police in Memphis, the police, period, in this country. Police brutality, racial profiling, unnecessary traffic stops for people of color, it's nothing new. What did surprise some people when uh, you would learn that the five men that killed him were all black. That's nothing new. Black cops do it all the time. What's more disturbing than the videos that we all have seen with these five deranged monsters in human forms? What's worse than those videos are the videos that we haven't seen and we will probably never see. We will never see. When I watched the video, Miss Smith, good evening to you. I love you big time. Thank you for being here. When I watched the video, the first thing that struck me is how relaxed, how comfortable they were with what they were doing. It was almost as if they had done it before. So we can't verify, not even Memphis can verify that the traffic stop was for reckless driving. We can't pull that up nowhere. What we can verify is that five deranged lunatics yanked a black brother out of his car, threw him to the ground, called him a bitch. So now when we stop people, we call them bitches now. That's how we do this traffic stop. Nothing about that brutal beatdown said police. Police officers don't act like that. Thugs do. Monsters in human form act like that, but not police officers. When we were watching the videos the first time, I cut it off. I couldn't watch more of it. And at that time, it may have been only 3 or 4 minutes into it. I just couldn't do it anymore. It was so disturbing what these brothers were doing. The United States does not see an urgency for police reform in this country. There's no urgency for it. There's no urgency for police reform because those that are being targeted, beaten, and killed are people of color. What irks me with us is that we don't sound the alarm for police reform in this country until another black person has been beat down or murdered by the police. We have to have daily open talks about police reform in this country. We cannot go and after we get these officers arrested and sent to prison and we sit down and we wait for the call of another black person been killed by a cop. Blacks must become proactive. So we also are part to blame for some of what's going on with us in this country. We have to sound the alarm every day because it's only getting worse in this country. We have a young man, Mr. Nichols, yanked out of his car. In 13 minutes, he was given 71 commands. In 13 minutes, 71 commands. One say this, one say that. Mr. Nichols don't know what the hell to do because he's confused. The one picture that stays in my mind is when he gets out of the car and he's on the ground and he's reaching up and he has the look of fear in his eyes and I ain't do nothing. I'm doing what you say do. I'm cooperating with you. Yet they kept saying he wasn't. Not one time did he resist. Not one time did I see Mr. Nichols take an officer's gun from his holster and point it at it. I never saw it. Never saw it. Never saw it. This man had been pulled over by diabolical, deranged monsters in human form, lunatics. That should have never been given a badge or a gun. Our problem with police in this country cannot be examined, cannot be fixed at the academy. The problem with police officers in this country is the battlefield in their minds. If you give someone who has a battlefield in their mind, who have violence in their mind, then naturally they're going to bring the violence to the streets. So the problem is who you're picking to give a gun and a badge to. But for some police departments, that's no big deal. That's no big deal. That's what we want. We want those that say, yeah, I kill. They want them. Police officers are not trained to wound or hurt. Police officers are trained to kill you. It's as simple as that. So until we start examining that person, his or her whole life, from beginning to ways he or she is at now, we will be back here again with another story of a person of color being attacked by the police in this country. No police in the United States should ever be placed on paid administrative leave when he or she is at the center of a homicide investigation. I don't need that officer receiving a check and planning a vacation for him and his family, or her and her family, while a black mother and her family planning a funeral. After that, the child's life has been interrupted permanently. Officers are still getting a check. What that says to me, the officers are being rewarded for what they did. I only put you on paid leave because it leaked out. If the media hadn't gotten a hold to this, I won't do this to you. I won't do this. I wouldn't. Miss Bradford, Benford, good evening. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. I wouldn't do this because guess what? It's a brotherhood thing. We stick together. We stick together. The uh, the captain. Everybody wants me to talk about the captain. The captain. The captain. Took some flap for what I said about it 3 days ago. And well, Miss Scott, you're wrong because she was very transparent. She was. She was. She certainly was. And there's a reason for that. It's not because she truly gave a damn about what had happened to Mr. Nichols. And the police department don't get no blue ribbon from me or no high five or no pump of the fist because they acted swiftly with disciplining the officers involved. We know the truth. Had these been 5 white boys, you and I would probably be somewhere laying on a bridge, holding up traffic until we get them to even meet to think about putting them on leave. The 5 police officers had to be taught one thing. You are a police officer, but you're black. And you don't do that. You let us do that. So when we say that we can't release a video like that, we know they're lying. If you can give me the victim's name, then you can give me the officer's name. I don't know why you can pick somebody up when you catch them on video committing a crime. But when police officers do it, I got to examine the video. Okay. Whatever works for you. You have to remember here, some officers deliberately turned their body cameras off. Others said they fell down. Maybe true, maybe not. What does that tell you? I'm getting ready to do something that is against the law. And I don't want it to be heard. The way these brothers came out, they acted as if they was on mojo or some other drug mixed with alcohol, because they was in beast mode. The boys doing nothing. They're still beating it. They're still kicking it. And all he wants is to understand why this is happening. I would say what I did. Hey, I tell you nothing. Put your goddamn hands back. So we kick him, we beat it, we beat it. Be mindful, the young man we're talking about, Mr. Nichols, is a slim black brother like me. These were 5 big black boys. One of them could have hit him and it would hurt. What they were doing that night, they was entertaining themselves. This Scorpion group allegedly came about to help bring peace to the city. To help bring peace to the city. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way because they were the ones committing violence. I promise you, these cops have done this before. People are scared to come out. Cops have a lot of pull. When they put that badge and that gun on, they can scare people to shut up. They can plant drugs on people. They can plant weapons on people. One officer recently disciplined because he had an extra gun that was not issued by the police. I wonder why would he have an extra gun? I wonder why. Quality immunity in this country for cops must immediately be taken off the book. That has to go. That has to go. Officer must face some form of punishment when they step into the shoes of the individuals that we hired them to chase, criminals. So today's show is COP, criminals on patrol. That's all we have. They're taking drugs from people. They're taking money from people. They're keeping them safe on the street because the drug dealers are paying to stay on the streets from these diabolical cops who should be put so far in the prison system, they should have to stay there until Jesus comes and see if Jesus wants to go in with a key and let them out. The punishment that was given to this brother should be the same punishment that every officer that was there received, whether they touched him or not. Every officer that was there and first responders, when you show up, I'm expecting, I'm stupid, you to come and render aid, but you come up and have a group discussion. If you wasn't going to do anything, why in the hell did you show up? I tell you why. They do this often. This is nothing new. We just finally got wind of it. That's why we know about it. Karen, Miss Porter, good afternoon. Hadn't seen you in a while. I love you big time. Always pleasant to see you on my live. So when I say that this has been going on for a while, and I'm going to prove it, I'm saying that because if it indeed has been going on for a while and nothing has happened to these brothers, nobody has addressed the fire department, nobody has addressed the paramedics yet, that means that there are a lot of people involved in this. We don't give a damn. He shouldn't be running from the law. If he ain't guilty, why is he running? He's running because he's not running from the law. He's running from thugs. That's why he's running. And he says, I'm just trying to go home. That's what he said. His mother's dead. He was 2 minutes from where he lived. 2 minutes. Miss Jean says, I wonder if the cops are saying he's high as hell. What's the code for first aid to stand down? You know what? I've never looked at it that way, but that's an excellent point that you bring up. And it could be true. Because when we're acting up like this, we got codes. We got somebody's coming. This person coming. Here comes a supervisor. So you have different codes that you have to go by. As they had beat him silly, they stood back and they smoked cigarettes. They was relaxed. They was okay with what they were doing. One cop said, I hope they stomp his ass. I have nothing but great respect for Reverend Al Sharpton and Attorney Benjamin Crump, and I'm paraphrasing to what some of the things that Reverend Al Sharpton said at the funeral. He went back to when Dr. King was killed, and you could feel the anger coming from his voice, where he was trying to let the cops know, you only have a badge and a gun today because of the blacks that fought and died to make you become part of this country, to become equal. Some hung on a cross, set on fire. They did all that. And finally, blacks were able to become police officers. In certain cities, so I was talking with a retired cop a while back, they only could work black neighborhoods. And they couldn't even get, I think it was handcuffs, because you're not going to arrest no damn. People got killed so that a black man, a black woman could put on a badge and a gun. We never thought that was going to happen. But you come and you just kill it. You just kill it. A lot of places blacks are now, it doesn't really have anything to do with their skills or who they know. It's because of affirmative action. Don't ever think they want your black ass there. They don't. They don't. On January the 27th, the family's attorneys called publicly for the unit scarfigans to be done. The chief of police answered that request the following day. Briefly, I want to address the chief of police. I got everything laid out in different parts. I wondered why this police chief. I wondered why. Let me answer this real quick. What troubles me if it's about Karen. She says apparent to happen in some neighborhoods and nobody came out of their homes to try to stop those cowards from beating him. And that's an excellent point too. But I think, that troubles me. But it's easy to know why. They didn't. They don't want no trouble. They don't want no trouble because these are not cops. These are killers. These people are perpetrating a police officer. They're not cops. They are thugs. They are thugs. And when we come across people like this here, that's another reason why I believe a woman should make her decision. If she want to have an abortion, blase, blase, that right there, that's a good reason. Because they should have never, ever been born on planet Earth. They're just scums. They're nothing. Existing just to be existing. So the chief, she's on this channel. She's on that channel. She's talking to Don Lemon. She's over here. She's over there. She's back there. She's running here. In my mind, I'm going, well, when the hell do you have time to really investigate the case? I mean, because all you're doing is making celebrity appearance here and there. And you're raising a lot of hell. They love you. You moved expeditiously to get this thing started, to get those that did it held accountable. Sometimes I'm trying to beat somebody else to the point because I know something's going to come out on me. So it's best I run here and run there. It's best that I put them down as much as I can. We will not tolerate this here. No, this video is so disturbing. Oh, God, you're going to be angry. I'm going to tell you that now. You're going to be angry when you, because I was angry. This should not happen. Well, Miss Scott put out a post a while back about her. I didn't go into details. I simply said, she don't get no blue ribbon. She needs to be arrested too. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? And she came to the mic. She came to the mic and said, oh, we're putting our black people down. I'm not putting black people down. Black people put themselves down. I just tell that story. And I read and I research because she bothered me. And I found out that Chief Davis was a police officer in Atlanta with the Atlanta Police Department. She spent nearly 18 months overseeing a hyper-aggressive street crime unit named Red Dog. But was ultimately disbanded following a public backlash and a series of lawsuits from these thugs. They would just harass people. They would strip them down naked in public, humiliate them. These were her boys. Her boys in Atlanta. She comes to Michigan and she begins to do basically the same thing. She puts together another thug unit, bringing some of the tactics they used in Atlanta over here. Again, these units were designed to bring about peace in the city. If anyone, this is from NBC News, if anyone in Memphis had checked with anyone from the world of police oversight in Atlanta, they would have learned that creating a red dog-like squad using red dog-like tactics was deadly. It was deadly. Deadly it would be. A 92-year-old woman was killed. I mean, 3 cops killed her. It was a drug raid. But what they did, they falsified information on documents, and there was nothing there. And so she would lose her life. And now many are criticizing the chief because of what is now coming out about her tactics and the Scorpions unit in Memphis. She talked as if she didn't know that the standards to get on that unit had been lowered to get these dummies a badge and a gun. She didn't know anything about that. Nothing about that. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She did. And she also has to be held accountable. I give her no praise. None whatsoever. Because had she not put this unit together, I wouldn't know anything about her Nichols. I wouldn't have. So if the unit that's on the streets is chaotic, violent, ruthless, all you got to do is look at the head. But now she cares. No, she doesn't. She don't give a damn about you. But she'll say whatever needs to be said to try and convince the public that she is a wonderful chief of police. Members of the Red Dog unit were told to get the job done by whatever means. Get it done. Get it done. Over the years, Atlanta settled at least 10 lawsuits related to Red Dog unit misconduct, costing taxpayers more than $2 million in settlements. I could go on. I could go on. When this is over, a whole history with the police, every police department she went to will be uploaded. You can read the affidavit. You can read her name and some of the court documents, that she too was part of the problem. And so now she is still part of the problem. We look for her and police officers, period, to be the cure for what's wrong with this country, not the symptom. We don't expect that. We don't expect for police officers to become the criminals that we hired them to go apprehend. But when that happens, we must take immediate action. We must not cover up nothing. As you will see when you go to my Injustice Facebook page, how she covered up for another police officer. A very, very disturbing case. If she do that, that tells me all I need to know about her. She does not need to have a badge and a gun. When this happens, we have to act swiftly. If you have to leave a police department because of your disciplinary, or if you get fired from a police department, I don't think you should ever be allowed to work for a police department in the United States, like ever. So we fired her here, then she goes here and they accept her, knowing why she was terminated. No, we cannot let cops keep doing that, because what happens? They bring their menace to society brain over there and create the same thing that they left. And now Mr. Nichols is dead. He's dead. You can sit here and you can cry until the river meets the sea. That won't bring Mr. Nichols back. You can apologize. That won't bring Mr. Nichols back. If that's your unit, you need to be supervising your unit. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't supervise him because you messed up. You don't give a damn what they do. Kill him. You don't give a damn. We have to police the police. It's just as simple as that. One thing they can stop saying, I want to make sure that this never, ever happens again. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. That's wishful thinking. That's our dream of genius. It's going to happen again. It's not going to stop because you wish it to stop. So what do? We have to back police officers up in this country into a corner that they cannot back out. For number one, immediately, their name, I need it published immediately. Their disciplinary, need it published immediately, right then and there. The video, give it to me. Give it to me. No, not tomorrow, today. If you're looking at the video to study it, to find out what went wrong, okay, I understand that. But there's no need for you to hold on to that video until a certain amount of time, because if you release the video today, that's not going to jeopardize the case. If anything, it may help get these officers off the street in a faster tone. But they keep the video for a while. And here's what they're doing. They're studying the video. They're looking at every way they kind of wiggle out of this, wiggle out of that, blase. And then so we find nothing wrong. You just saw them beat that man to death. And you need to study the video? I've seen it. There's no need for you to hold on to it. But they're trying to strategize. Emily says, not going to happen. People live in some fantastic world. Police and judges have zero oversight. And they can do whatever they want to do. Questions need to be asked and answered. She just preached. That's it. Incidentally with that, I film the police while it's still legal. Police throughout this country are working with law officials in Congress and others to make it illegal for you to film them when they're arresting someone. If you're doing your job right, why would you have a problem with being recorded? Why? I'll tell you why. Because the majority of what they do is crooked. It's crooked. They know how to write a police report in their paper. If the prosecutor don't want to prosecute, I'm gonna just write up a piece, send it to the grand jury, let them decide. But the way you write that piece up will determine whether or not officers are indicted on charges. And usually it's going to paint the victim out to be a low-life, trifling, insignificant individual. That's why we had to end this life. I thought he had a weapon. I thought, you know what I mean? People of color are dead because a cop says, I thought. Qualified immunity, we have to do away with that. Police officers have been charged with a homicide. They should have no bail. There's no bail. But why is that's being harsh? I don't have a problem with it being harsh. I'm being harsh, but I'm being fair. And I tell you why. I don't. And if you all do or not, just let me know through the live. I don't see a need for me to give an officer a bond when someone has been killed because of them. I hold police officers in this country of a higher standard simply means I don't expect for you to do what the criminals do. But when you do that, when you put on those shoes, your punishment should be 10 times as that of just your average citizen. If it's 10 years for a homicide, it should be 20 when you are a police officer. And again, no bail, no bail, no bail, no bail, no check. You will not sit and enjoy your check while family has got their heads down. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about the incident itself. We're going to talk about the incident itself. I'm not through with Chief Davis yet. This will be here tomorrow and for the next day. There's a lot here. I mean, a lot here. So you all can read it. If you hadn't read it already, it's going to be on our Injustice Investigation Facebook page shortly after this video ends. So there are just certain areas that I wanted to cover in sections so you can see exactly what's going on and why. Especially, I raised so much hell about Chief Davis should be arrested. She should be arrested. And keep one thing in mind: just because we have some people that have been arrested and have been charged with a homicide, that's nothing. You don't shout, you don't clap. You say hallelujah when they're convicted. That's when you shout. You will never see, well, not often, a white mother with Benjamin Crump and Al Sharpton. It has happened. It has happened. But you won't see a whole lot of it. But you're guaranteed to see a black mother who's sitting there crying, wondering why. This mother said, oh, and that broke me down. She said, they wouldn't even let me go see my dying son. They said no. And I remember when she said it, she hands down. The child that she brought into this world is dying. But you have the authority to tell her you can't go see. Why? Did you think he would come back some and he would tell her what happened? That doesn't have anything to do with police policy. That don't have anything to do with police law. That's a menace to society. A menace to society. I don't know how they live with themselves, or maybe I do, because what's so disturbing to us is not disturbing to them, because they have been doing this for a very, very long time, and they have been getting away with it. So when we talk about police reform, it's not just with the officers coming out on streets. I'm talking chief of police, the assistant, I'm talking the mayor, I'm talking the governor, because in order to have true police reform, we must hit every last one of them. You can't come up with police reform and don't do a thing about the justice system when a black man walks into a court. If you just focus on police reform, we've done nothing. We've done nothing. But it is past time, including me, for us to get up off of our butts and stop waiting for the next black person to become a celebrity at the hands of a crooked killer cop. We have to have public conversations about this, and not just with public figures, just with people. People. Just talk about it. Do a Zoom, do a YouTube, do a Facebook. Keep it going. Because if we don't, we have to blame ourselves when it happens again. And let me say this here about a young lady. I don't know her name. I don't care to know her name. I was on TikTok, and I don't know the hell I'm doing on TikTok. So I just don't understand it. But anyway, I was just strolling through, and I remember this lady. She stopped, and she was putting down Reverend Al Sharpton, and she was putting down Attorney Benjamin crumb. Basically, they're chasing money. They're clout chasing. Let me say this here to this girl right now. They don't have to chase the money. The money chase them. But let me tell you something. Reverend Alphonso and attorney Benjamin Crump, in my opinion, has been a lifeline to people of color in this country. Now you imagine how many Nichols is laying in a grave right now because they didn't get the public attention that they needed, that they deserved. If you don't have anything to bring to the table that's better than Reverend Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump, I need you to shut the hell up, because you're talking, but you're saying something close to nothing. You can't help no damn body. These black men, whenever they want to, can make a call to the White House and walk up in there. Can you do that? No. This self-hate must go. This self-hate must go. And incidentally, self-hate tomorrow, you're going to hear that a lot. Self-hate. You have to hear tomorrow to understand these brothers. Thank you, Emily. I greatly appreciate you. I love you big time. We have to realize that the system we're on our hands and knees begging to help us get police reform, keep in mind, that's the same damn system that is against us. So it's like a catch-22. That's why the system cannot draft up police reform by itself. It needs a public opinion on different things that we think should be included in police reform. And if there's no urgency to bring about police reform, all the Republicans, whoever go against it, don't put them back in office. Don't put them back in office. They don't give a damn because you're black. You mean nothing to them. Well, I was surprised when it was black men. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. It's going to continue to happen. So it's up to us to continue to bring this to the light daily by any means necessary. Have you can use the platform, we need to do it. Because when we're out speaking on issues like this, we're not just speaking about what happened to Mr. Nichols. We're talking about those who came before him. We're speaking on those that will come after him. So there's a whole lot of people that we're speaking about, not just the individual that just died. You don't know who is in that police car when they're getting ready to pull. You don't know. And this is 2023. And I'm a black man. I may take off running when I see the cop. I know I haven't done anything, but I know what y'all would do to me. Just because you can do it. Just because you can do it. And you notice, and lastly, and my sister brought this up to me earlier, that they knew they were being filmed. Some of them knew they had the cameras on. They didn't give a damn. Why? Because it has happened before. That's why it's so relaxed with them. That's why. It's up to us. It's up to us. You have to realize a white mother and a white father does not ever have to sit their children down and have the talk. What's the talk? How to react when you encounter a police officer. Sit up straight. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, yes. Keep your hands out your pocket. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's just bull. They don't care about you doing that. They don't care about that. They will still take you out and lie. And lie. That's not necessary. Be yourself. But it's sad in 2023, we're really still in 1953. It's just this. Emily says she had to put her hands on that dashboard and put your hands on the dashboard and keys. Then yes, sir. Uh, that's it. But when we see a lot of them doing what we just got to talking about, when the parents have to talk with them, that means nothing. But I shouldn't have to make talk to my child about making a psychological adjustment when you step outside of your home. I need you to be you. Again, continue to film the police. Do not interfere with the police. Do not interfere. Do not tell them that you're feminine. They know that. Do not call them ugly names. And even though it might be true, don't do that, because you can make it bad for yourself and worse for the individual that they're dealing with right then and there. Film the police. Don't say nothing. Film. Never turn that recording over to the police. Find you a good attorney and let him or her guide you on how you should or when you should release that video to the police. Again, tomorrow we'll be back with part 2 of this. We'll talk a lot about Tyre Nichols tomorrow. Thank you all for being here today. I love you big time. Miss Williams, I see you. Thank you so much. Y'all enjoy your day. And remember, I'm not always right, and I'm not always wrong. I'm not Scott. Y'all have a good night.